Hi, boys and girls. So today we're continuing working on our informational writing essay. And today's lesson is going to be all about how to write a lead. And we're going to start thinking about how we can start our introduction to our essay. So our learning goal today is that I can use a hook to get my reader interested in reading my report. I can draft an introduction that includes a hook statement, your report topic, and subtopics you're going to teach. So we are, as you know, experienced writers, so we all know that it makes a great essay if we start with a great introduction to our paper. So I hope you remember that a great introduction always starts with a hook. Just like when you're fishing, if you do not have a hook on the end of your line, you're not going to be able to catch your fish. The hook is the most important part of the introduction because it helps you as a writer get your readers excited about reading your essay. So you kind of want to draw your readers in. For an informational writing piece, there are 3 different ways that you can hook your reader. So the first one we're going to talk about is a fact. If you start your essay with an interesting fact. So the first way might be something like something that you found in your notes that you kind of were going through taking notes and you're like, wow, this fact is absolutely interesting or amazing, or I can't believe that. So if you start with a strong fact, that will get your reader's attention. So here's an example of a fact. A group of animals that are classified as very likely to become extinct are known as endangered animals. So that kind of gives somebody that's reading it some information that is important to pertaining to that essay. Okay, so the other type of hook you could use is a question. So this strategy helps the reader start to think about what they might be learning about by reading your essay. So if you're picking the strategy, though, it's important that you not only state your question, but you also answer your question afterwards. You don't want to leave your reader kind of wondering and leave them hanging. You do have to kind of answer that question for them, but that will draw in their attention. So here's an example of a question that might start an essay. Did you know that Niagara Falls are made up of 3 separate waterfalls? The American Falls, Bridal Veil Falls, and Horseshoe Falls flow together to create the famous landmark. So here's the question that was asked and directly, instantly followed up by the answer to that question. So that kind of draws your reader in to think, wow, I didn't know that Niagara Falls was made up of 3 waterfalls. It's really interesting. And the third way you could try to hook your readers is with a description. So this is a great strategy for those of you who want your reader to picture something in their mind. So before they start reading your report. So an example would be right here. If I were to start an essay about tornadoes, it says, dark gray clouds fill the sky. A funnel appears to be touching both the ground and the clouds as it spins. The tornado knocks down trees in its path while peeling roofs off of nearby homes. Wow, so super descriptive, right? You can picture that in your mind. So when you go to do your hook today, pick one of these type of 3 hooks. So pertaining, of course, to your essay. So you could either do a fact, question, or a description to start off your paper. So now thinking about the whole introduction. So not just the hook, that's only one little piece. Let's talk about the whole introduction paragraph. So a good introduction should include these 4 things. It includes a hook, of course, highlighted here. So your fact, question, or description. And that should be at the very beginning of your essay. That's how you always want to start it. A writer then states their informational topic they are going to teach about. So here, number 2, state your topic that you're teaching about. What is this paper all about? In my report, my topic is the red-eyed tree frog. Then the writer will list their subtopics. So that's important thing to have in your introduction, point 3, list your subtopics, and those should already be planned out from previous lessons. So for example, in my previous lesson I showed you, I picked my subtopics as characteristics, habitat, predators and prey, and adaptations. And then finally, a good introduction has a concluding sentence. That's the last final piece of your introduction paragraph. And that gets the reader ready to learn all about the topic you're teaching them. So your concluding sentence, it kind of helps wrap up the introduction in order to make a nice smooth transition into your next coming paragraph, which would be about subtopic 1. So these are all the important things you need to make sure you include in your introduction. Notice I highlighted them in different colors. That's going to help on the next slide, where here's an example I made of my introduction paragraph. So you'll notice in yellow I highlighted my, my hook, green is my topic, blue is the subtopics, and then the purple is my concluding statement. So notice the order is important when you write an introduction. That's how yours should look. So I'm just going to read it to you guys so you have an idea of what an introduction paragraph will sound like. So this is again about the red-eyed tree frogs, what I'm writing about. Can you imagine a creature with bright red eyes, a green body, and orange toes? It sounds like a monster, doesn't it? No, it is actually a red-eyed tree frog. This essay is all about the amazing red-eyed tree frog. You will learn about what a red-eyed tree frog is, where they live, their predators and prey, and how they protect themselves. When you are done reading, you will become an expert on the red-eyed tree frog. So this is a good example of what I'm looking for an introduction. How did I hook my reader? Which strategy did I use? You might notice that I started with a question, right? And then I immediately answered that question. Then I stated what my essay is all about. I stated my 4 subtopics, and then concluded with my conclusion statement. All right, so now it's your turn, and you're going to start by brainstorming a hook statement for your report. You may want to jot down a few ideas or think about them in your head. You may even want to share your hook with a family member and see if they can give you any advice. Next, you're going to open up your writing notebook, which is titled Informational Essay. So when you go on Google Classroom, there's going to be a document that you can type in to start. That's the place where you're going to be writing your essay. It's called Informational Essay. So that's going to be like open-ended for now, because right now we're still in that drafting part of our process. So you don't need to necessarily turn in that. No, it's kind of like an ongoing notebook for now. So don't turn that in yet. That's just where you're going to start writing your introduction today. So make sure you're including all these important things. Make sure you have your hook. Make sure you're saying what your topic is, your subtopics, and your concluding sentence. All those important parts to make an amazing, awesome introduction paragraph. And then that's about it for today. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you need any help coming up with a hook, if you're still having trouble with picking, subtopics or anything like that, if you need further instructions, let me know, and I'm here to help. And I'll get back to you guys with comments as soon as I can when I see your work. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Making sure I went over everything. Oh, and also I included a checklist just to go over to make sure you're including all these important things that's attached to this lesson. If you want to take a look at that checklist as well. All right, so good luck. If you guys have questions, let me know, and have fun writing your introductions.